My name is, on the record, Mo Maatra. It's spelled M-O-E-M-A-A-T, Maatra, dash R-A. My straw man for the record is Mark Edward Smith, all caps, Mark Edward Smith, which you might know me by on record. So what we're here to speak about is our indigenous status and funding. Well, the general fund that is dispersed into the township, into the city, being dispersed to the NDS through the block grants. So I've been meeting with Jim for maybe 3 years now with his business plan. I did the Haunted Hood last year.
Jim Shank?
Shank.
Yes, okay.
So I did the Haunted Hood last year, and it started out to be a big event. And then all the supporters, the city council and the township, both backed out on the funding. First, they promised to give me the funding, so they was all happy in the meeting, where they were gonna fund it, and then it didn't happen.
The
So,
city and who else?
the township. So I wanna show you this display here, bring your attention to this display, and I hope you got the,
Handouts?
documents, the handouts. So, we are indigenous Americans, and do you know what that is?
Yes.
So we're claiming our indigenous status as separate for the reason, this display is to show you the reasons. We're not saying that we just hate people and we want to be separate because we just want to be away from people. There's a reason for our wanting to be separate and wanting the demands. Because in 1950, we had our civil rights, and Charles Hamilton Houston and the NAACP did not fight for integration to end segregation. He fought because 1940, 1930, 1920, 1900, and you know what was going on in the 1800s. We were not getting along well. These are people being hung. Why would we want to integrate? We did not. We wanted equal. We wanted equality. So what we're saying, we have elders here. We have smart men here where we can run our own businesses. We can run our own DOJ. According to the articles, the United Nations Declaration of the Indigenous Peoples that was signed in 2010 by Barack Obama, and the executive order for the funding, that we fill out our own grants. But you, as the commission, has the power to direct the funding to the township, to Jim, for neighborhood block grants. You have the power to direct that funding to the indigenous community according to the United Nations Declaration. As the commission, the money that comes in from the overpaid taxes, from all the other sources that the general fund gets, that money through you can be directed to what we're trying to do here in our community. What we have business ideas through the whole community. 100% of the community. Last year I had everybody fill out a piece of paper to say what business they wanted. But none of them got any funding. But we hear through the general fund, there was people getting money for their businesses way in Streetsboro to get their mortgage paid. And we're out here, we're going through this still, because after 1950, when you integrated us into the school, it became an unconscionable damage. And according to the Uniform Commercial Code 3.8, that's a fraud. And that fraud caused us to turn into Black Panthers. Now, you know how you guys feel about, I won't say two people, that would have been racist, but how you guys feel about the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party to most people is some kind of bad thing. And that is a bad thing that happened to us, because we had all these young men, these are babies. If you look at the pictures, these aren't grown men like us. These are babies that did not want to go to the integrated schools. Now today in our school system, we have a zero tolerance. A zero tolerance. These are my children that graduated from Ravenna High School. They're struggling, and all their friends are either on drugs, in jail, or pregnant. All of them in this community. You might have one or two that made it out, and those don't count when you have the majority of the children not making it. So now then, after 1960, we was left in 1970 with still no help. All our parents turned into pimps. And them pimps raised gang members in the 80s. So you know this is historical facts. I'm just showing you pictures that I show my community every day so we can understand. From 1970, this is how we turned into gang members. This is an unconscionable injury. This is an unjust enrichment. Because the funding that you're giving, these people are out for money. These people are out for education. But after we was beat so bad in our education system, we just said, forget education. We just need money. Money and murder started happening. And then you get down to the hip hop. 2 hip hop artists killed, Tupac and Biggie killed, until our whole race turns into hip hop culture. Instead of being the indigenous people of America, we turn into hip hoppers with pants hanging down tight, because we can't get our kids to say anything polite. Because the schools, you integrate us into the schools, where it's obvious they hate us. It's obvious. Look at all these people. If you look at the pictures, I would like you to stand up and look at the pictures of these people. The faces of these people look just like you. It look like the teachers that just today, look at them. These people are, this is 1920, 1930. These people are alive right now. Right now, they are alive. Right now, this is 1940. Right now, these people, all these people standing here in these pictures hanging are alive right now. These are teachers. These are district attorneys. These are chiefs of police. These are the people that you're sending our funds to and expecting us to survive in the allotment without any support. And you're giving our money away to, what's the company name in Streetsboro?
Vivian Streetsboro, she got almost $5,000 to
For
pay off the
nothing.
mortgage for her business, and we've been going to NDS.
We've been every year, all year long, from MIC to King Kennedy to Skills, we've been giving our proposals. We've been giving business plans. You got our proposal here with our demands and the signature from the community. We don't understand why the money is always a problem for us to get funded on programs and organizations to defeat this. And I'm in this picture here in 1980. This is gangbangers in California in 1980. This is me. And this is me again in 1990. This is me. So I'm not sitting up here talking about some stuff outside of my neck like I'm from Ravenna. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I'm a real gang member, suffering because of the school, the integration in 1950, the civil rights movement. The schools taught me how to gang bang. My mother didn't teach me that. My elders did not teach me that. They do not approve of that type of attitude. But it happened in the schools. So you see, in our demands, we ask for money so we can support our own school system. We can support, we can teach. I have my resume here with me. Did you bring my resume? I have my resume with my grades and transcripts from the College of Education at the University of Akron. But because of going to these schools and given the jurisdiction of people that hate me, I got a felony for no reason at all for helping my people. Doing this isn't something that just happens overnight. I've done this my whole life. Even in California, you see me trying to help these people. You see they dress like gangbangers. I got on a suit. I was always intelligent. I was always educated. But the police, these people that hate us, they will catch me out here trying to teach like I do, and they will beat me up and tell me I made a terrorist threat and I assaulted them and I go to jail and I got a felony. Now with my education as a teacher, I cannot teach. I'm a doctor, I go to exercise science, I'm a sports scientist. I can't teach at the hospital. My mother has diabetes and walking around good right now because of what I know. Not the hospitals. The hospitals always misdiagnose her. I saved her life. But I need the money. You need to direct that money to the correct resources to save our lives. This isn't over. Just because we're not getting hung in the street, Tamir Rice was just shot. Another lady was just shot. Somebody was just shot in Ravenna. People are dying. And you sitting there giving money away that can help and save these lives to people in Streetsboro for $5,000. You gave that lady $5,000 when $5,000 could have educated this woman got a baby, who is my granddaughter. This is my daughter. This is my son. They have children. I need to take care of them. I need to teach them. I need the resources to teach them. You need to release that funding from the general fund can come to the indigenous people. It's in the articles. If you didn't read the articles, it's not my fault. It's in the article. It's in the executive order also under the ESEA. Read the article. It's in the page numbers and the demands. The page numbers and the paragraphs is in the demands to where to go to an executive order. And you can't give us that money. There's no way you can deny us. That'll be a problem. Because this is unconscionable injuries. This is an unjust enrichment, and that is a violation of the Uniform Commercial Code. And we did have a contract of a peace treaty. Thank you.
Thank you. Very important presentation, thank you.
I'm sorry if I was a little emotional.
That's okay. Understandable. I would like to look at more closely at the pictures, yeah. But I will get there, but I'm very slow. Okay.
So this is how we show, this is the Africa Pangea. This is when the earth was all together. See where the United States would be at the top of Africa. So we are indigenous here. It's people, everybody from around the world.
Would you like me to help you?
And it shows here.
Oh, I know, it's interesting, I don't wanna look at that.
And then, look at these babies. See, the Black Panther Party wasn't grown men. I'm a 46-year-old grown man. They were all dead
And it
before
was
they
a
turned
terrible part of
46.
our history.
And then these guys in the 70s, these were the fathers, when I was born in 1970, these were the fathers I woke up to in the morning, and I had to fight them because they was beating my mother. So then we turned into these gangbangers. All these, you see, this is penitentiary pictures. And these two brothers are dead today. And now we back to Black Lives Matter from way over here. See, this is almost the same.
But we have come a long way, we're not, still have a long way to go, but we have come a long way.
We have, according to, especially with the executive order, and if we can make this happen in Ravenna, if you read the executive order, the president asks us to be a model to the world. We can be a model to the world, and Roy, we can make money. You seen a commercial in Michigan? How they got an indigenous population just like us. So what they did, they put a commercial out for tourism, so people to come see our heritage, come see what we do, our dances, and people come to see, and then that gives the white settlers also money, because people come to see us.
Sure.
They buy from us and buy from you at the same time. So we can work together and make this happen for everyone. It doesn't have to be a fight. This can be a cooperation, a cooperative economics move, and make this city a better place. We got ideas for Cleveland Road that's out of this world. Because everybody already signed a piece of paper that said they wanted a business. If you can give each one of these people in our community $20,000, we will turn Ravenna and we'll build a casino and everything. We'll build malls, we'll build casinos right on Cleveland Road, right between McElrath and Henderson. That block right there, and we already got Richie's store. We'll start from there. Everybody, she'll buy t-shirts, she'll buy socks, I'll buy hair grease, he'll buy ties, he'll buy suits. He'll buy shoes, and when we go to Richie's store, when we buy our stuff, all that money comes back to our community. It's called economics. The way to build a community is with economics.
When you were speaking of indigent people.
Indigenous.
Indigenous people, you're talking about Native Americans.
Native Americans.
And the demonstration that you're giving was talking about Black Americans?
No.
I'm gonna show you, they're the same people. You can probably go through these pictures to show you what the true Native, I'm sorry, hold on, put my foot in right. So these are pictures of the true Native Americans. So as you're looking, you're starting to see, those are what we call the mixed babies. So the rape that happened, we know there wasn't any slavery. We're not mad at white people for slavery because the English, only 4% of that population only owned slaves. 40% of the Jewish population owned slaves. So we know it's not white people, and this is the original Statue of Liberty. And these are relics, 1,000-year-old relics.
Where is this located?
South Carolina. That's Tupac Shakur and a 1,000-year-old Indian relic here in America. Here's another picture of a family looks like they're from Ravenna. Those also, and this one looks like me. That's me right there. It looks like me and my son. Actually, it looks like her. It would be her, because it's a girl. Doesn't it? It looks like it resembles us. Those are the true Native Americans. And those natives in them pictures are from Pennsylvania, this area.
And also, we've done our ancestry, you know, so we've traced where we've come from.
What tribe is it?
We are
Yamasee.
Yamasee, Washita, Moors, Choctaw Nation. There's a variety of us,
And
Cherokee.
My family is the Macon County, Georgia Fortune. We from the Fortune clan is from the Macon County, Georgia Yamasee, which is South Carolina Cherokee. Our grandmother is a South Carolina Cherokee, but the Fortsons, how we get our name Fortson, we were not slaves. We were put on a fort. And when we came off the fort, they said, these are the sons of the fort, and named my ancestors Fortsons. And here's another picture of some Native Americans. This woman looks like my mother, don't she, Butch? You seen it? That does look like my mama.
Don't that look like Miss
That
Mary?
is her.
Yeah.
Right. So I got a picture look like me. I got a picture look like my mama from natives from this area.
Yeah, those are Pennsylvania Indians.
And you know the Pennsylvania Indians settled Ravenna,
Yeah.
Proctors.
Oh, right.
Right. So, and here's some more pictures of the black natives. We got thousands of them. And look, Sammy Davis Jr. You know, I like that one. The comparison pictures. Sammy Davis Jr. in the Navajo. See, Sammy Davis Jr.'s ancestor, his mother was raped by the English and had a mixed baby. See, I wish you would have bought Nala. That's why I wanted you to bring my granddaughter. She's mixed. She looks like the Indians that you say Indian, but they are native. because everyone born in America is a native, right? So we're indigenous natives, meaning we've been here over 1,000 years. Here's another 1,000-year-old relic with one of our rappers, the Lady of Rage. And those were found here in America. So there's,
This looks like Mexico.
right, but the Mexico is the same as, we're all the
It's all the
same,
same.
because Mariana and Cortez.
Oh,
So we're the same people. Here's another graph. Oh, you're gonna like this one. Mike Tyson and the Iroquois Indian coin from 1934.
The Iroquois Indians are in this area, bound builders.
And then, this is the dispute, the fact that we are not Africans. They say we're from West Africa, right? This is a West African to the left. Now, in the middle is our famed Ice Cube. That's who we are. That's an indigenous American. So there's a difference. See, Bill, even though Bill dark, he still looks like an indigenous American. He still has the red glow. He still looks good. He doesn't look like that dude.
There's a different type.
There's a difference. That dude dark, but he don't look better than Bill.
they're both good-looking people.
Bill, he don't look better than Billy.
I wanted to ask you, the proposals that you've given to neighborhood development, are those, they're not included in here, what were those proposals?
I had the proposal for, one, I have a corporation called NIA, New Incorporated America, like Native Indigenous America,
Say it
NIA,
again, I'm sorry.
New Incorporated America. That's my farm, that's a C corp. I asked the money to help me with the corporate, and I own land. I own land on Ravenna Avenue, that I have my tax papers.
You don't need your privilege.
Yes, I own, so I own
When
land
did you submit it originally?
in 2015.
Yeah, that's just one.
Yeah, that's the meal was submitted in 2015. Then we submitted the Haunted Hood. The Haunted Hood was an event that we wanted to do yearly, annual event that involved all the children from this neighborhood, and we haunt. We celebrate Halloween all through the month, and we give candy away, and we decorate our woods and our neighborhood, and we have fun. We did it out of my pocket though.
An outdoor haunted house.
And you said that Jim Shank was assisting you with a business plan, or you had the business?
I have the business
You
plan.
had, and you submitted to him for funding consideration under Small Business Administration, or?
Right.
And what was the disposition of the application? Did they get back to you? Did they?
I meet with Jim all the time, but it's always, well, I don't have money for that right now, or, did you talk to the city council, or and of course I talked to the city council, that's how I knew to go talk to him. So, I'm like, yeah, I did. Then it's always, well, we just need to know how we're gonna get our money back. If you give me enough money, I'll be able to get you your money back. And it always ends with one of those three. The last one, he's like, I'd like to talk to you. Cause I was just so
So
upset.
there were two proposals, or did you say three?
It was two proposals.
Two. One was, I just want to make sure,
The new-
one was the new
Inc.
America.
Yep.
America, and what was that one about?
It's a farm.
Okay.
It's a, C corp where we wanted to grow organic. We do in the backyard and around the community,
Sure.
but we grow organic fruits and vegetables. And what our thing was to attack the food desert. It's in the business plan, in our market research, and in our narrative, that we wanted to displace the place desert. The place desert is where we feel alienated from our environment.
So what area would this cover, this,
The allotments, McElrath,
Skills?
Skills,
Skills and the.
McElrath,
Okay.
right.
And, all right.
And some on Ravenna, Ohio Avenue. That's
Oh,
specific, Ravenna, Ohio Avenue.
Sure, okay. I'm very familiar with food deserts and the necessity to offer assistance, but I'm curious about Skills and McElrath being part of the food desert because they're so close to Ravenna, and there's all kinds of opportunities.
Well, the food desert is basically not only the measurement of distance from the store, it's the opportunity of transportation to the store.
Also pricing.
And the pricing for organic food is outrageous. We
Yes,
don't get
yes.
that. We have to buy the worst kind of food, because we get, most of us are on food stamps, or even if we go to work, our income level isn't high enough to buy organic, so we have to buy the worst kind of foods. So, and then we end up with diabetes, we end up with congestive heart failure, any one of the autoimmunities. And you only break at your weakest link. So what we noticed is we need to have organic diets. We know how to eat food, and what a lot of companies do, a lot of these programs, they come to try to teach us, like, we're some idiots. Like, we need to learn how to garden. We know how to garden, we know how to eat, we just can't afford it.
Would you then, as you grow the food, and you would then make it available in those communities at a, I guess, a predetermined or reduced price or something that
And-
most people could afford to buy?
And what I was gonna do also, is in the proposal, it's in my business plan and marketing strategy, that while we grow the food, I was gonna build walapinis and hoop houses. And those,
Say the first one.
walapini, that's an underground hoop, it's an underground greenhouse.
Cool.
It's real easy to build. It only would cost like $600. That's when I asked
What
them.
would you grow, like celery or?
Tomatoes,
Lettuce and tomatoes,
lettuce.
like your staple produce that everyone needs,
Greens.
potatoes and
You can
greens.
grow that underground?
Yes, year round. They're building walapinis in Alaska and growing year round, growing food in the desert out in Afghanistan
It's
with
actually,
walapinis.
it's actually an indigenous, that's a part of our culture, a way to grow. If you look it up, that's how our ancestors grew.
Right.
Is it the way that it's structured, you can grow year round because it catches light, and because it's underground,
It's
It's
constant temperature.
constant, right, with constant temperature. And then you get the light from building it. You just put a
yeah, it's the angle.
plexiglass
the angle of
over the hole.
plexiglass.
How much money were you asking for each of these projects?
The, Haunted Hood, I can't even remember the Haunted Hood price.
We have the budget for this?
Well, I have a budget in here, let me see that envelope. So this year, what we did the budget for Heaven. And altogether,
No,
we
Heaven
put-
is our 501c3, he didn't discuss Heaven, cause
I
we
did, I
didn't.
gave Jim Shank this too, I gave Jim Shank this last week. Heaven. The Heaven program was combined with NIA along with the Haunted Hood into a 501c3.
The Heaven Project?
The Heaven,
Heaven.
it's called Heaven, it's just Heaven. That's it, Heaven.
What
It's
was the
about
total request for?
200, this is 290,000 for the whole budget, but I have it broke down for each program through here. So all the programs
Oh.
together will come up to $290,993.66.
So each one has a
Could I look at
corresponding
that
budget.
one?
You
Yes,
can make,
for a minute.
this is yours, and you can make a copy of
I'll
that.
make a copy of it.
Yeah. So if you go through it, you'll see an itemized budget for our fringe benefits and our personnel is zero.
I'm a little confused. You had the new
Incorporated America.
Corporate America,
Farm.
NIA, and you had the
Haunted Hood.
Haunted Hood.
Right.
Those were the two that you applied for money, but this says Heaven.
And Heaven, what I did this year, see, those was
Oh, that's
2015.
from-
Okay, gotcha.
So
This
now,
is this year's
this is this
proposal.
year's work,
This
so we was
year's
talking about the past,
incorporated.
now we're talking about what's going on now, what I had to do this year for
I
being
see.
declined last year, and with the new executive order, I figured, let me combine all these programs under the 501c3 and move forward with itemizing each program for, so if you wanted just to fund our travel, if we wanted to do our enrichment program, you'll see our enrichment program came up to, what's that, like $13,000, something like that.
Altogether, the project was 1 million,
No, 290,000.
oh, 290.
$290,993.60 to be exact.
Deb, could we get copies of this?
I would suggest maybe four, one for each, the three of us and then one for the record.
There's another, the program, this is my program for me personally, and I'm only stating them because you're asking. I was here last year for me, but still it's my community that I'm concerned with. What my program is, what Heaven is for that 501c3, but these people have business ideas, great business ideas. And they come, these are my elders, they all come to support me, and that,
Sure.
this the Sanders family, LB, Larry, and Billy. So what they're here to represent that we as a community working together, we do work together. We may not like each other all the time, we argue just like you might argue with your family, but we are a family. And all our families are related in one way or another, right? One way or another. So we are a tribe, so we asking for money for all, if we can get a block grant where everyone can receive $20,000 and $15,000 to the business. At the same time, I don't want, if you give me the money and don't give anyone else the money, it's really not gonna, I'm just gonna be able to struggle along, but what I want is a block grant for each one of the citizens in the allotment in McGarrett Park with a business idea to get that $20,000 for that idea at the same time, and we invest into that area, into products that serve the good of the community, the supply and demand. That is what's going on right now, what I really want right now.
Are the elders that you just mentioned, that have the business ideas, are those now in a, I guess, a formulated, what you call that, packet with their business plans?
No.
Have they submitted?
Somewhat.
Have you submitted yours?
Well, I have a package together, but you know,
But they will
Lowe's
have-
representing.
They will have
all
one
of us.
tomorrow.
If I'm hearing you correctly, first you're explaining to us that we have the authority to do this. We're very aware that we can, if you don't have to be a member of a tribe to be eligible. Anyone in the community is eligible for a community development block grant money if they meet the criteria of the grant.
I just don't meet the
So,
criteria.
yeah, so I wanted you to be aware of that. If you have proposals, certainly you're welcome to turn them in.
Absolutely.
But there are some guidelines that they have to follow, and we're being made aware of this for the first
Yeah,
time
yeah.
Right.
today. So, what's in the past, I guess, is in the past.
Right.
The proposals that you bring forward
Sure.
for a community block grant this year.
We'll get to heaven.
And we can look into it to see,
We will.
whether
I
or not
would
it.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no,
We
we will.
need it.
Well, undoubtedly, not undoubtedly, I would think, call MDS or Jim
Yeah.
per se and ask him to come and meet with us and talk about what it's proposed.
That would be awesome.
Well, excuse me, I feel the more this, proposal, when you say that you don't have to be indigenous, to get block grant, well, we've been trying, and it seems not to work
Nothing works.
for African Americans around here. But that's not the point of us wanting to, for indigenous is not because we just want it because we're indigenous and we know we can get money. The problem is for when we go all the way back to that timeline, when we integrated into schools, there was a problem because we were miseducated. So not only are we have black children running around here miseducated, we have white children running around here just as miseducated as the black children, because we want it to be under indigenous so people know that it's real, so people know that there are black indigenous people, so we know who we are. We know where we come from, we know where we go and where we belong, not just, oh, we trying to get money. See, the only reason money is a problem is because that's obviously how America's run, is with money. If it wasn't for y'all needing money and all that, we'd be fine, just come together. But see, we always get pushed back because everybody looks at us like we're crazy because everybody has been miseducated. We are trying to educate ours and to let people be aware of us. So if we just sit back and go, oh, it's cool and we get the money, that defeats the whole purpose of what we were here for in the first place. Cause if we get the money to get the grants to start our businesses, that's what we need. Then you won't have to talk to us, or we will have to make our own monies to provide for our own families. But it has to take us to know who we are, and it takes you guys to know who we are.
Right, that's why we
'Cause
explained
it's
it in the
when most
presentation for the
people-
schools. The schools are very important, like I was saying, when my children graduated from high school, but they're not doing well. Neither are their friends.
I don't really understand, when you go to the schools and you receive the same education.
But it's not as true, that's what I'm saying, we know the same education, but the problem with
It's
it's
jacked up
miseducation,
education.
cause it's not the truth.
Right, it's a
The
jacked
only
up
thing
education.
about black that we learn in school is about Africa. So automatically, if you are in school being educated, and the only thing they're gonna teach you is, and show you pictures of black people as African, it's automatically training our minds to believe that the only race that we could ever possibly be is Africa, because that's the only ones we look like. But yet, my daughter who is mixed, they go, oh, she looks like she could be Indian, but I can't. But at the end of the day, the only reason y'all believe that or think that is because the only pictures that are shown of Indians are Indians that look like my daughter. They don't put in the history books a picture of a girl looking like me and have Indian under there. It's always African American. It's always that. So it's not
They
the
gotta
fact,
go.
that's why we say we want
It's
our,
12 o'clock, they gotta leave at 12.
oh, But I'm just saying, it's not the fact that we don't know, we have got a great education from America, but it was a miseducation because it's not great for us, it's great for y'all because